About 8 years ago, having no idea what I was doing, I decided to run a high-risk, high-reward farm that generated 9 obsidian per second. The way it works is pretty brilliant. With the Wither recently added to Minecraft, Mojang hadn't patched all the behavioral holes, and so some big-brain players figured out pretty quickly that you could trap the Wither with specific types of block cages. The most dangerous mob in the game, when enslaved to your will, can be a powerful ally. And by ally, I mean slave. When you enter the end, you arrive on an obsidian platform. If you mine that thing and come through the portal again, it regenerates. Technically, that's infinite obsidian. Mining it is too slow though. We need another way to break it. Remember that cage I just told you about 7 seconds ago? You can create one around the obsidian platform and trap the Wither there. If we hit him with a projectile, he'll break the blocks around him. Then instead of sending a person through the portal, we can just send an item and the platform will regenerate, right after the Wither broke it into pieces. So, send one snowball through the portal every second, then actually shoot him with snowballs from the other side. This creates a river of obsidian, and when I first discovered this farm, I couldn't resist. The only problem is if the Wither escapes, you're f***ed. And this becomes much more likely if you lose connection or log out and reload the world. Over the 2 weeks I ran this farm 7 years ago, the Wither escaped and blew up the farm like 3 times. Luckily, storage was hidden in the depths of the Endstone Island, so I kept recreating it until I reached the goal of 3 million obsidian. And that was it. We did it. I took a moment to frolic and then started spamming the shit everywhere. Need a gigantic wall? Done. Need to protect yourself by any means necessary? Done. And now, 8 years later, I'm here to unfortunately report that I've almost ran out. I've used a frightening 13% total of my original obsidian storage of 3.2 million. A stark and frightening reminder that one day down the line, I will run out. That is unacceptable. I won't have it. We need to do this again. And this time, maybe go a little bit further. This project was insane. From creating the farm, to running the farm, to making and uploading this video, it was a 6-month process. YouTube seems to reward quantity over quality, and that's why we're going to do the exact opposite. So for more mega projects like this, be sure to subscribe, but if you want to see this more often, hit up the Twitch where we build the projects block by block every Sunday. So the original version of this farm came from ancient YouTube records of previous generations of uncovered Minecraft players, Daniel Coates and Panda. Daniel also uploaded a special version of this farm that utilizes 4 withers instead of 1, with an obsidian river coming out completely on crack. I couldn't shake this from my head. I had to have this in survival. So me and Dry HB started experimenting, and here's where the problems start. And to describe it, we have to leave the Matrix and return to the real world. Minecraft processes its game functions on a single CPU core, that thing in your computer. It's not multi-threaded, which would allow multiple cores to work together on processing the game, which would increase the speed of the game and prevent slowdowns. This farm is intense. It slows down the game, and the only way we could deter that would be by essentially getting the greatest cores available on planet Earth. And we don't have that. We have whatever my MacBook has. And our server that we rent doesn't have much better. This obsidian crunch process has so much jam-packed action and excitement that it slows down the game running on a single core, which slows down the obsidian per second we get. This means that the 4-wither version of the farm wasn't getting the rates claimed in the video. It was much closer to half that much. So we did the only thing we could do. We added 4 more withers to the cage for a total of 8, creating a theoretical obsidian fest on steroids. Now, my first question to Dry in response to this idea was, how the hell would you start the farm? Spawning 8 withers and having enough time to turn on the water and run the hell out of there. Well, you could actually configure the soul sand and wither skeleton skulls so that placing the last 8 skulls to summon the withers was pretty fast. Okay, I'm afraid for my life, but I guess I could summon 8 withers, run out of the cage, hit the water, and run away as fast as possible while my heart is exploding out of my chest. Now, the problem with this new modified design is that it required 8 snowballs per second. That's one hungry ass farm. I swear to God, I remember this conversation I had, but I couldn't find it. In order to provide the farm with enough snow, you would have to have multiple snow farms be running with a storage silo of so many iron shovels. It would be something like more than 25,000 chests. The first time I ran this farm 8 years ago, mining all the snow required with a snow farm created some kind of bizarre entity lag that would regularly rubber band mobs in a way that had nothing to do with the connection, since it also happened on single player. This ruined and bugged out the overworld portion of my base for years before it mysteriously disappeared at some point, and I didn't want to go through that again. So I insisted we didn't use snow. But what could you use? Arrows are too damaging. It would eventually kill the Wither. That just leaves one delicious option. Okay, so eggs do the same thing snowballs do, and eggs are just regularly produced by chickens. That's perfect. If we get enough chickens, we can just have this gigantic coop produce the eggs required from the farm on a regular basis instead of having some huge storage silo of snow. Wow, that lags the game a lot. But we've got 8 withers. This rate should be okay. Another problem is hitting withers with eggs hatches chickens inside the cage. Obviously. This created pure chaos inside the chamber. The chickens would hatch, the alternate wither heads that shoot skulls would go nuts and shoot them, feathers flying everywhere. This is awesome. The only problem is if the area gets unloaded instead of a villager each wither is supposed to focus on, they could refocus on a hatched chicken and the farm would break. This happened multiple times during testing, so I invented a system that if the farm got unloaded, I could log in and pull a switch right away that drops the chickens into the void so that hopefully the withers can refocus on their villagers and all will be well. We were also facing a really intense problem that had nothing to do with anything and was completely unexplainable. The servers were aggressively logging my accounts out, constantly. The only thing I could do about this was use an auto reconnect mod and hope that we find a solution to the problem soon. So we had our wacky design of 8 withers in a cage being shot with eggs to generate a river of obsidian at the cost of a constant baby chicken genocide by one of the scariest monsters in Minecraft. A baby chicken born to the harsh sounds of withers breaking blocks and shooting skulls everywhere, living a few miserable seconds of a life filled with stress and fear before being annihilated by something akin to those demented weirdos from Harry Potter or whatever. And this horrifying experience would be repeated hundreds of thousands of times a week, millions of times a month, or something like that. I didn't run the math. I'm surprised I didn't get charged for human rights violations. Oh wait, chickens aren't humans. I'm surprised I didn't get PETA storming down my residence for crimes against humanity. Or chickens, whatever, same thing. So there's only one thing left to do. Build the obsidian storage silo, and then launch the farm. I had no idea how epic making a chest wall of this magnitude would be. It was so cool to just stack up to the world height again and again. 100 million obsidian would end up being 112 columns that were something like 234 blocks high, which ended up being 26,500 chests, which would cost me over 100,000 wood blocks. I like to pick up the pace these days, but we're gonna slow things down a second, just so you can get a good look at this. The Twitch streams where we placed this chest wall was insane. The size of this wall is difficult to contemplate. I'm smaller than an ant here, building the chest lines over and over again. And of course, after the 25,000 chests, we need 25,000 hoppers to put every stack of obsidian into each chest, which adds another dimension to the wall. This section took longer than the chests themselves because you have to shift and place it to face directly into each chest. But after all of that, the chest hopper wall was fully complete. There's something satisfying that happens when you approach it. I'm not sure what it is, who knows. Everything at this point had been built, and it was time to press the on switch. Are you guys ready? You guys ready to do this? Place here, place here, place here, and then for this. Okay. I need to focus. Drink some water, Pippin. No, we're gonna do this. Gotta do it fast. I gotta do it fast. Oh my god. They're focused on the villagers, right? I was far away enough. I had no time to run to the fucking iron golems. Oh my god. I think it worked. I think it worked. They're not breaking anything. Yeah, nothing's broken. Nothing's broken. They're there. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine, you guys. It's fine. I'm like shaking right now. I am literally shaking right now. Platform is now getting renewed. I think the pulse system's ready to start. I'm gonna turn it on. There it is. It's going. It's working. Oh my god, it's working. You guys hear that shit? Guys, we did it. We did it. I'm like, oh my god. There it is. That's obsidian. That's obsidian. It's all flying over there and getting fed into that system. The farm is working. Yes. Anyways, now that it's finally launched, we can reap the rewards and coast through until the silo is full. All we have to do is wait, and it shouldn't be that stressful at all. Oh. Well, I logged in immediately, hit the chicken flush switch, and it seemed to be okay. No apocalypse of 8 withers escaping just yet. But aside from the server brazenly disconnecting my 5 alts on a regular basis only to have them reconnect a few seconds later with that mod I'm using, we're good. Okay, so this farm is running slow. I measured the output and apparently it's only running 8 obsidian per second. This farm's slowdown is just out of control. So we did more research. Have you guys ever run a farm or anything that put a bunch of guys together, like hundreds or thousands, mashed into one hole? Yeah, apparently that's not a good idea because the math computed from the colliding of all their bodies is just too much for the game, slowing it down. This was the state of our chicken coops. So I killed all the withers without them escaping their spots, redesigned a new coop for each chicken to get its own individual space, and got to building them in both dimensions, which was a laborious process which took a long time. This part was really frustrating. Each coop floor took like 3 hours, but the end result was so worth it. We cut the slowdown by like half. Then I killed my hopes and dreams by checking the dispensers that shoot eggs at the withers. Yeah. Turns out, even though it's supposed to be impossible, the withers had already destroyed 3 of them and probably would eventually destroy them all, grinding the farm down to a halt. So I killed the withers and shut down the farm again, and redesigned the shape of the cage so that the dispensers were several blocks away from the withers so that even if they were blown up, they were easy to replace as opposed to before where it was impossible with the dispensers literally 0 blocks away from the wither's face. We had to reconfigure the water. It made chicken flush impossible, so I got rid of that. And for those of you who saw this video and thought, I must do this too, are you sure about that? In any case, once it was all done, it was time to restart the farm. Let's do this. I fucking hate this part. You know, it's just a really casual thing we're doing here. It's not that big of a deal. It's not that big of a deal. We just hit that and then we run. They're in there. Looking all menacing and shit. Those skulls are gonna shoot at me if I get closer. Yeah, they want my balls. We successfully launched it. They're in there. They're in there. They're not doing anything. Not yet. Let's start the farm. See what happens. Oh my god. It sounds like Galactus is having breakfast. That's what this sounds like. Now, the Obsidian storage was far enough away that after I set server render distance to 6 at the beginning of all this to reduce slowdown, Obsidian wasn't reaching the hopper intake area from its water stream. So for like 2 weeks, the farm stored none of the Obsidian output at all, and it was just forever lost. Also, the withers kept blowing up the packed ice below despite it being covered in water. None of this makes sense. So we switched to a stronger floor that the items move slower on. So we had chickens and items getting blown up before they escaped the farm, significantly reducing the rates. But whatever. This was our semi-stable situation that we ran with, and the withers weren't escaping. As it turns out, they wouldn't escape for a long time. Good morning. Obsidian isn't coming in anymore. That's not normal. Let's go check on it. Okay, so what I had been fearing for 2 months, but didn't happen, finally happened. The pit in my stomach when I saw half the cage blown away. And I'm sorry you guys, but I'm really stupid and didn't record my battle killing the withers as I was really freaked out. All I've got is this screenshot. We don't know how the withers got loose, but my theory is somewhere there was a square where Enderman could spawn, and after 2 months he finally did something unlikely. Teleported into the cage and aggroed/moved one of the withers, causing a chain reaction. Now a lot of people would consider this depressing. After all this work and time to get halfway only for the farm to be blown up and having to recreate it with so much left to go, but this was an opportunity. You see, we were running this server on the same VPS as the Build the Earth servers, which use cubic chunks. Something about the way CC sends packets, our tech genius Rude Yeti theorized was the reason for the rapid disconnects, and if we just switched to our own, the problem would go away. So while the farm was off, we did that, and he was correct. And this basket design where the withers are constantly blowing up the items, it just wouldn't do. So the Crafting Federation came up with some designs based on the idea of just making the entire floor a hopper field with a layer of water, and now it ejects the items at a rapid pace to a field of packed ice below and sends the items off immediately. I spent a day furiously rebuilding the farm and ready to relaunch for the final time. Or at least it fucking better be. The third and final close-up. We're never doing this again. Break it. Don't break it. I think it worked. I think it worked. There goes the... Okay. Oh no. I think everything's okay. I think it's okay. They're in there. They're trapped. F you guys. Oh my god. Look at this rate. It's going almost double the speed it was going before. This has got to be over 30 obsidian per second, meaning that since the first 50 million took 2 months, the second half is going to take only 1 month. If we had gone with this item collection to start with, we'd be done by now. And no more rabbit account disconnecting. This is so great. Now we wait and pray that the withers don't escape again, because this is literally perfect. Please don't escape. Please don't escape. Fuck. Suckers. How did they escape? Yeah, they're gonna blow up everything. Okay, this one's down here. Oh, the strength too. Wow, that's really powerful. Well, as you can see, they escaped again. We were 2 weeks away from being done too. I love how the first time we launched this, it was like a life-altering experience, and now I'm just like, whatever, we're gonna start this again. Anyways. It's fine. Yeah, they're fine. They're only making the most terrifying sounds I've ever heard in my life, but they're fine. Oh, see, where the f did you come from? Did he spawn right here? It better not escape again or I will literally kill. Over 4 months of planning and maintenance went into this endeavor. And finally, on a cold summer morning, I checked my computer to find the hopper lines and columns completely full. After everything, we had finally done it. This project is a small piece of a greater puzzle that seeks to answer a question. Most of us found how awesome Minecraft was in our first or second survival world, and we enjoyed it for days, weeks, or months before moving on to something else. But the size and scale of Minecraft moved me from a very deep place. This world is my life's project, and instead of just days, weeks, months, or even years of progress, we seek to answer the question of what could be created and accomplished if you never stopped. Because most of our lives, we work on various projects for a limited amount of time before beginning new ones, and that's fine. But at the end of my life, instead of a million little projects scattering the historical timeline of my life, I would have a legacy of a lifetime of progress in one world, one game, stretching to the limits of human possibility in Minecraft. If you want to see the full extent of this project in-game, see for yourself all of what's been accomplished so far on a world that's been worked on since 2013, or even play it on single player for yourself, join me at Patreon for the world download and for access to updated downloads for all the projects planned in the future. Weeks of planning, weeks of setup, nerve-wracking, super dangerous farm starts, and then months of maintenance and careful watching, and escapes, and rebuilds, and relaunches. 4 of them! It may have been months, but it felt like years. But we finally did it. We finally did it. Every single chest is now pure obsidian, but just for the most part, I would just like to say thank you guys for being on every step of this journey with me. And I'd just like to thank Jesus and, you know, that Joseph Smith, that guy. And I love these guys so much. I hate to see you go, but we gotta do it. We gotta do it. It's time to shut down the farm. Should we use the iron golems here that we had never ended up using? I say we make a tunnel over here and then just drop them down into the chamber. What do you say? We're moving over, you guys. There's something we must do. You guys have been sitting here for like 4 months and you've been like, why are we here? Like, what's the purpose? There is a purpose, and your purpose is now. We need to quit being a scared little wimp and actually f***ing do this. Are you guys ready to do this? I'm not. I'm gonna shut up here. Here we go. Here we go. Oh God. Oh God. Oh God. Oh! Oh no! Oh no, they all fell out through the top! No! No, they were supposed to stay in the thing. Alright, there's one. God damn it, I'm stuck! Oh, he beat an iron golem. Die! Son of a bitch. Who's still alive? Oh, this guy. Where's he going? Come back. Yeah! Kick his ass, Iron Golem. Look at that. You can do it. I believe in you. You can do it, Fred. Yes! You are the MVP. You are the MVP! Are you just gonna jump off the thing? See, this guy 1v1'd that wither and kicked its ass. That was so awesome. I'm privileged to be alive. So what's next? Well, that's the problem. I can't give you a video like this every week. I can't even give you a video like this every month. These projects are so massive, that's how long it takes. When people liked my Endstone video, I knew I couldn't stick to content that spread out because it's not sustainable, but I figured out a way. YouTube updates are like a buffering stream. You're seeing what I accomplished weeks or months ago, just like we're seeing stars' ancient past when their light finally reaches our eyes. On Twitch, there's no time lag at all. The nexus, the center of where we forge these projects into completion bit by bit, is here, with an awesome community focused on achieving our dreams and becoming more than we were yesterday. So follow me there, on Twitch. And if you like this video, thanks for watching. I can't wait to show you what we have planned for the next one. See ya. This channel will have a directed, specific purpose moving towards the future, which is going farther than ever, like, just going as far as we can. I'm just so excited for that. We're gonna go, this is the starting point right here, and we can just go. We can just go, and we've got the time, right? We've got the time, we've got this opportunity to just see how far we can go in one direction. Like Voyager, right? Isn't that the satellite that we just sent in one direction in deep space to just go, go, go? And I think it left the solar system like 5 years ago or something, and it just keeps on going, right? That's us. We get to start that right now. And our only limitation is as long as we live, which means and it's gonna be awesome to see how far this world can go. My only current regret is not being able to spend as much time on it as I want to. That's all I had to say. It's raining outside. I'm gonna work on the video some more. It's almost done. I'm so excited to release this. Thank you to all my Twitch followers and for all of my people still on Patreon who have held on my survival Patreon through this entire almost 2 years now since Build the Earth started. You guys are a treasure. You're a treasure. See you next time. But hey, man, thanks for watching.